I guess I wonder what the statistics are. How many people die every second on this planet? Whether there's 6 billion people on the planet, something like that. 6 billion people on the planet, and I think maybe was it 1 or 3 people die every second, something like that. 1 or 3 people die a second. That's pretty interesting. And then you think about, well, if, somebody died and then it, who it affects. Usually there's people don't come in all by themselves. They come in with a mother and a father and maybe family, and then sometimes friends and people that they know or people and so I've been watching a lot of televisions, and so I've noticed a lot of these people that are real they're pretty famous. I guess the longer you live, the more people die, and in your life. And some people you sort of they were on television, but you sort of grew up with them. You grew up with them because they were sort of part of your life. And this guy, Teddy Kennedy. He was like with the Kennedy people, like in Hyannisport, like they had the president John Kennedy. He got assassinated. That got his brother, his younger brother. His brother had this epiphany, about things, and all of a sudden he decided that, wow, I'm going to do something good. I'm going to do good, and so and then that's when he meant that. During that, there was a period of time when he seemed to be, I don't know, this bulldog attorney general for his brother, who was the president. And then when he decided to run for president, he became real. He got real, and he started to see what real people went through. And just when he won the nomination, just I think it was the night that he won the nomination. I think it was something like that. I may be wrong on that, but he got the nomination for the Democratic Party, and he was shot, by this guy, right then, and so that was 2 assassinations, and then there was this guy Teddy. He was he just died maybe a day and a half or so ago, and when somebody that I know dies, I think about them and I sort of wish them well on whatever journey they're on. I give them a little, I just think about them, and that gives them. I hope that gives them, some sort of little push off, some little power that that they can really use. It'll be helpful, something helpful out there, because who knows what it looks like out there, and a lot of people have talked about what it looks like out there, but. And I've heard different stories, but like most of the times, the stories that I've heard, it all had to do with cultural. Depends on where you were living, and but anyway, this guy Teddy Kennedy's dead now, and they kept him in the house where the family lived. Rose Kennedy was his mom, and I think the whole family got started as they were rum runners. That's how they made a lot of money and became, big deals. Because once you have a lot of money, you're a big deal, and then you can expand into more legitimate things. But people were forgiving, and so there was the president. Anyway, this guy Teddy Kennedy, I don't know why that was where I got from that, but Teddy Kennedy just died, and he didn't run for. He was going to run for president. But he was having some problems, he wasn't. He was having some problems with himself and relationships and stuff like that. And he had some skeletons in his closet that wouldn't go away, and so he didn't win the nomination, which was like So he went back into the Senate. He was a senator for like over 40 years, and he did good things. What he did was he worked for the little people. He worked for people that, could get ripped off by people that had more power, more money, that they knew more legislators, things like that. So I mean, if you ran into trouble, you'd really be, it's really hard. It costs money to buy. The person who gets the most expensive lawyer usually is the person who wins. So this guy, Teddy Kennedy, was trying to equalize the playing field. Like, and that's a really good thing to think about, having a planet where it's a level playing field where people are equal. I was just reading, like that about children. Children, they don't know that there's any difference in equality. They sort of treat everybody the same until they learn, who's stronger, who's more affluent, who has got more bucks, who's got more, power, who's not, that kind of thing, but otherwise they look at, before that happens, they look at all other children as if they're just the same, like they're pretty much the same. And well, anyway, Teddy Kennedy was trying to have the government that is my government, that's your government. Since if you live in the United States, then it's your government, just because you were born into it. Sort of like being born into like this skin. It's just me, How did that happen? I don't know how it happened. Like there's some people that say they know how it happened, and maybe they're right, maybe they're not right, but like usually they've given it some thought, and so thinking that the playing field is equal, that we all have the possibility to improve our lives, and that's a whole big what really improves your life, what really will improve your life, what could that be? Well, so thinking about all these famous people that die, like Teddy Kennedy just died, and that cook, that famous the French chef, she just died, and Michael Jackson just died, and so many people just, like it goes on, just the more we live, the more people die, and things like that, and so what, like here we are. We're in this bubble. We're in our skin. We're in this sort of life, like, and what should we do? What's important to do? What would be a good thing? How, if there's, if I'm in a bubble, if I'm in this life, if I'm me, which it seems like I am at any rate. I can't tell. Sometimes it's like looking out from the bubble. It all looks like a bubble to me, but it's my bubble. Okay, my bubble. So what what would be a valuable thing to do? How do you expend the energy you have? Like you can't sleep all the time. You get tired of sleeping. You wake up. You can't be awake all the time either. So people sleep. We sleep a lot of our lives. We really do. Most everybody spends a good bit of their life sleeping. So what would be a worthy pursuit? What's a worthy pursuit? And being a human, and here I am talking with you all, and I'm wondering, if you're listening to this, which there's so many things to listen to, it's like, how do you pick a worthy pursuit? What do you think would be a good thing to do? What's really smart? Well, you come in with all this energy, sometimes, usually, and then you go out, and what lasts? What lasts? Well, your money doesn't last. When you die, you don't take your money with you. When you die, you don't take any of the relationships you have with you. The people that are left, they just sort of, muddle on in what they're doing, and you don't take your friends, you don't take the people that are in your life. You don't take you don't take your TV. So you can't check up on people that are what. So what would be a worthwhile thing to do? I'll tell you in a minute.